fellow animation lovers, and today we're going to be looking back on Rocko's Modern Life. Pretty much like the last series, Angry Beavers, I'm nearing the tail end of it. I'm finishing up season 4 now, so I figured I know enough about it that I can review it, plus a little bit of Static Cling, the made-for-TV movie on Netflix. Rocko's Modern Life was created back in the late 90s. It was one of the first Nicktoons after Nicktoons version of Doug. Doug was on Nickelodeon first before it came to Disney. What was the other two? Rugrats and um, Ren and Stimpy. Rocko's Modern Life came a little bit later, along with SpongeBob a little bit after that. So, and it's funny because one of the people that worked on Rocko's Modern Life, which I'm currently watching, um, funnily enough, was Steven Hillenburg, and Tom Kenny voices the character Heifer, which we'll get to characters in a minute. But yeah, so some people that worked on Rocko's Modern Life, and a couple of the writers and animators and such, eventually went on to make SpongeBob. So kind of cool. Um, Funnily enough, Rocko's Modern Life was. I did have some VHS cassettes at the time. I don't think I have them now. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna double check. Those are probably worth some money now. You know. But yeah, Rocko's Modern Life was one of those cartoons that I remember growing up because of those VHS tapes. Those and Our Monsters. I did watch one other episode at a friend's house once. That was about it. Um, but yeah, Rocko's Modern Life was. It definitely got away with some of the more riskier and more darker jokes. Except for one that hasn't really. It's not on this DVD box set. So, it straight up fades to black before it really gets to that. So, goes on to the next thing. So there's that. But other than that, pretty much everything's on here. And I will admit, some of this stuff that got away with, woo, you wouldn't be able to get away with half this shit nowadays with some, not with these thumb up their asses, dumbasses nowadays. Whoosh, oy vey. No, they want you to watch 10 times ago. I don't want to watch. I don't want my kids watching that. I want to show my kids some of the shit that I grew up with. Good lord. No, lord. They're gonna watch some of the stuff I watched as a kid. You know, anyone who grew up in the early 2000s on reruns of some of the shit of some of the stuff and some of the newer stuff that was coming out. This was when cartoons were starting to transition a little bit. A lot of stuff was being thrown at the wall and everything, but as well as just like they were able to get away with a little bit more. Not as much now as they were then, but yeah, it was really good. It was a really good time. And anyone who says protect the children, go ahead and slug them one. Go ahead and slug them one, because they grew up with a hell of a lot worse than they got now. 10 times worse. You had stuff like this show, as well as Ren and Stimpy, even some of the early seasons of SpongeBob. As far as Nickelodeon goes, Team Family Odd Parents had its moments where it was kind of dark. Hell, not even just looking at Nickelodeon. Look at the Cartoon Network with Grim Adventures of Philip Andy, Courage, and all that. Just all kinds of good shows that had darker elements and creepiness and gross out, and amongst other things, you know. But we loved it. It was good. But now it's watered down bullshit. So you get the occasional good show. You get the occasional good show. And Rocko's Modern Life was definitely a diamond in the rough as far as like shows went. At the time. So, but it ran for 4 seasons. Awesome series. Some of the characters that popped up were definitely wacky and eccentric, like most Nickelodeon characters. Um, and eventually, I think last year, 2019, last or 2020, one to two, Netflix review brought in Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling, where now he's in modern era. nearly 20 years after the original show's run. And funnily enough, the final episode, it wraps around that final episode. So take that with what you will. It's kind of cool in hindsight. But let's look at some of the characters. You of course have Rocko. Now this is his modern life in the '90s anyway. Um, and he went through some of the stuff that you might go through. It's just a little more. It snowballs into, well, crazy cartoon antics. So that's the main draw for the series. Rocko would get into a situation like buying a new appliance or working at his job or just this, that, and the other thing. Just normal everyday stuff that you and I would normally do. But for some reason, this these scenarios would spiral out of control and in a wacky art style, no less. But Rocko would always take it with a smile, take it on the chin. He's from Australia. He's a wallaby, not a kangaroo. Not a kangaroo. He's a wallaby. Very different, I think. I might have to look that up. I might have been the Aussies. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm an American. I am dumb. I am dumbass. But he is from Australia. Um, Played by Carlos Alaz Alazraki. Good God, I am sorry if I butchered that name all the hell. I am so sorry. I'm just gonna call you Carlos. But this guy, he managed to bring this character down to he very down to earth character. But when he's pushed too far, he does snap. It doesn't matter who it is, even if it's his closest friends, his neighbors, whatever. He will snap, but it's very few and far between usually, and usually it's gotta push him to a certain point. It's usually Heifer. Get to him in a minute. Next, we have his dog Spunky, and he's in a lot of it too. Well, most of the show has him and Rocko just just hanging out. Typical. Spunky is not the brightest crayon in the box. In fact, he's duller than black, the black crayon. So take that with what you will. But he's super sweet, super lovable, super cute dog. And, funnily enough, he actually has it's a show within a show with a couple of parasites, a ringworm and a tick. Floaty the tick and Squirmy the ringworm. They pop up every now and again, and a fly that has a name similar to Rocko and Flecko. He doesn't act anything like Rocko, but he's definitely he pops up very like every now and again. Like he's popped up in like 2 episodes, 3 episodes altogether, something like that. But he's funny. He's funny. But Spunky is definitely one of the cuter dogs that Nickelodeon's made. I certainly like him. He's awesome. I actually have a pop figure of him there somewhere. He's somewhere over there. Next we have one of Rocko's best friends, Heifer. He is a steer. Don't call him a cow. He is a steer. It's very different. He is raised, get this, by wolves. A wolf family. A mom, a dad, 2 other kids, and a grandfather that lives with them. And I'm gonna level with you. When it fully goes into it a little bit, the fact that they were raising him to be basically food, it's kind of weird. They fell in love with him. Ultimately, they adopted him, and he never knew that. That's why his name is Heifer Wolf with an E at the end. But it's the same shit. It's said exactly the same. So, but this character is basically Proto Patrick. Shit you not. This character is inconsiderate, a glutton, and not very nice at half the time to another character, Filbert, which again I'll talk about in a second, and can sometimes be a bit of a pain in Rocko's ass. He can be a bit of like some of the pain that he's got to go through. But he's voiced by Tom Kenny. Brings the character to life pretty good. And I do like the character. I just don't like the fact that he's always The only thing he thinks about is food and his own self-pleasure. Take that with what you will. But I do love Tom Kenny. He brings this character to life pretty good. Next character is his other best friend, Filbert the Turtle. Filbert Turtle. That is his actual name. Um, this guy is the nerdy type. The glasses that clue you in. But on top of that, he also has, he's a bit of the hypochondriac character. The character that always feels like he's sick of from something, or what have you. But, oh, lo and behold, this character I do like a little bit more than Heifer, but he has his flaws too. Enough. And he marries a cat named Dr. Hutchinson. She's super, yikes, she's a little unhinged. But I do like her. She's funny. Always service with a smile, so to speak. She has a hook for her hand, so yikes, watch it. You have the Chameleon brothers who are trying to be fancy, but Rocko ain't having any of it. I don't know their names, but Kim and Leon, get it, Chameleon. But they're cool. They're cool cats. They're cool cats. I like them. They're funny. I don't know what accent that is that they're doing though. I'm not even gonna try to do that. And then finally we have the big heads, Mr. and Mrs. We got Ed Bighead, which is basically he's basically the Mr. Wilson to Rocko's Dennis. He's basically that. He's super grouchy, super mean at times, and if there was ever an antagonist in the series, it was him. And then there's Bev. She's super flirty with Rocko, but when you're not getting anything from your husband, you kind of get flirty with the neighbors, you know. It happens. You always have that one neighbor. Now there are some other characters that pop up, of course, like Really Really Big Man, a in-universe superhero character. Super weird every time he appears, mind you. Super weird character. I'm not even gonna touch this one, but he is super cool, super funny, super good guy. I think that's all the characters from the first movie, for the first show. Oh wait, there's one character I forgot. Ed and Bev's son, Ralph. Although, there's a reason I kind of left him for last. Because in the movie, he's fully gone through, I don't know what to call it, but he's basically become a woman. So, take that with what you will. Take that with what you will. I'm not going to, the Lord only knows, I'm not going to judge. I may be a Christian, but I don't throw stones. It's in the Bible. We don't throw stones. But the character is still good, but he's a cartoonist that makes Rocko, Heifer's, and Filbert's favorite show, the Fatheads. These guys are pretty much based on the Big Heads. They pretty much are. And in the movie, it's about bringing him back for a reboot. Nothing more. And well, lo and behold, it's kind of reflects, pokes at, well, our modern culture. The movie poked fun at our modern culture a bit, but at the same time also satirized reboots with this series, with the movie too. It was super cool, super cool. That's what Rocko Modern Life did. It would satirize modern life, modern living at the time, from the various appliances, the various day-to-day life stuff, so on and so forth. It was so weird and surreal. There were so many other characters that I haven't named. This show just, if you know these scenarios, you just don't see them go that far. You know, you don't see them go that stupid and that far. You know, it's super cool to see it. I'm finishing it up, so. But if you want to find it, it's on Amazon. You can find it about $30. Not too bad. Not too bad for 8 discs. Probably find other ones for that price too. So hey, take that with what you will. And super good. It's a super good series. But yeah, some of it ain't gonna. If it were made today, it would last a full season, let alone the 4 that Rocko's Modern Life got plus the TV movie. But I can see why people wanted it to come back, at least for a little bit. I am happy that the movie got made. I did enjoy it. So, some of the, and as far as like what I rate this show, definitely a 4 3/4 out of 5. Give it a, you know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's give this show a 5-star rating. Hey, this show is a good show. You know, it's from the 90s. I grew up with it as well, with reruns and the VHS tapes, and all that. So yeah, let's just give it a 5. Let's just give it a 5 out of 5. But with that being said, guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Go down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you saw this show as a kid, or if you got the VHS tapes, like I did. Or are you just now hearing for the show? Go check it out. You know, it's a cool show. Go ahead. With that being said, guys, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.